Well, your nostril doesn't stretch.
All right.
And so, I mean, like at any given time, there's a different answer. Like bigger things can fit in and out of a butthole than a nostril for sure, but obviously, like, like at any at one point, chances are the nostril is going to be bigger, but the asshole can stretch bigger.
Hey,
Unless
everybody.
you, I mean, just have like a really gaping butthole, and then it's just like open.
Hey, everybody.
Then you wouldn't have a sphincter.
Welcome back to Hard Reset, a Cold North joint, where Ben speculates about the size of assholes. I'm the Law Morris, your host. Joining me, as usual, gorgeous Ben Reynolds.
Meow.
And we are missing our buddy, the effervescent Andrew Etchen, this week. He might jump on late. We don't know. And if he does, we're just going to roll with it. We've got lots to discuss tonight, including the final death of the PlayStation Vita. PlayStation 4 can go anywhere now. And Xbox Kinect is making a comeback. A new Xbox One is on its way, supposedly. Sonic looks dumb as fuck. And Nintendo is finally jumping into VR. We're going to be discussing 2 years of the Nintendo Switch tonight, and possibly what we're hoping to see in the years to come. So, let's get started just like every week with what have we been playing this week. Ben, tell me what you've been playing.
I've been playing a lot of Omega Ruby, Pokemon Omega Ruby on Nintendo 2DS. It's I like I mean I've dabbled in Ruby before, as I've talked about on this podcast. Never really went all the way through, and I think I'm about as far as I've ever gotten right now. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't know how I feel about the Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, this is your first game with Megas.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little weird. Like, it's weird that a Pokemon turns into a jet. But
That's a pretty simple statement that is factually correct, no matter who you are.
yeah, that like when I like the first one I got it, and I was just like, oh, cool, and I was like, let's try this, and then I evolved it in the battle, and it turned into a jet, and I was just like,
What?
well, that's not very cool. But Swampert, he turns into fucking badass Swampert. It's all like Jack Swampert, so that's
Swampert
pretty
turns
cool.
into badass Swampert, so...
Yeah, he's like basically Swampert on roids, so I'm kind of into that one. But yeah, the other one where it turns into a jet, that's just weird.
Which Pokemon is that?
Latios or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I played Mega Evolutions were introduced in X and Y. I played X and Y when they first came out, and Mega Evolutions then were actually really cool because there was like an X specific Mega Evolution for Mewtwo and a Y specific Mega Evolution for Mewtwo, and same with like Charizard and a handful of others. Blastoise too, but
Huh.
which was pretty neat. But I think that the mechanic is strange and it's used very very sparsely. And
When it's like, what is even the point? Like, I guess I get statistic bonuses when I Mega Evolve.
yeah, you get stat boosts, but I think that the player isn't given enough opportunity to practice with it that you just feel like you never learn to use it.
Well, and like, because it's like, okay, so it just happens, and then I don't know. It's like it feels incomplete.
Hey yo, I think
Oh,
Andrew's
hello.
here is
Oh.
Andrew.
Did you guys
Andrew's
already
joining
start?
us.
My bad.
We're in the
Oh,
middle.
it's all good. We've
but-
got the effervescent Andrew Etchen though.
The effervescent Andrew Etchen has made
Uh-oh.
his triumphant return.
My excellent
Just in
return
time,
form.
just in time to tell us what he's been playing this week.
That's right. We're at the very beginning.
Oh, well, definitely played a little bit of Metro. Almost done with that game. Exodus. but I just because this week at work we're having kind of like a bond, like a day of everyone kind of getting to know each other with new employees, and so people are bringing Switches in. So just been practicing here and there in some Super Smash to
Gotta show
hone
those
my
new
skills
hires
so I
what's
can
up.
beat my boss.
Nice. Yeah, it's always satisfying to beat your boss.
Establish some dominance.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Show him
I'ma
like
show
I'm
him.
coming for you.
Yeah.
You're next.
Not in the workplace, but in the poke or the Smash place.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to be safe for work tomorrow.
Andrew's workplace is gonna be all up not safe for work.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of swearing tomorrow from like everybody, I'm sure.
Well, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that's gonna be a blast. I have a feeling I'm not gonna do super well, but I know people want to play all sorts of stuff, so it'll be fun to just have half of our day be spent like people like playing board games and stuff, and like people just were like, "Well, we have Switches. We should bring those in and play Mario Party." I'm like,
Oh,
"All
yeah.
right, I'm down for that."
Mario Party is fucking awesome.
Free Chipotle at work and Mario Party? Why not?
Holy shit.
That ain't not bad. That ain't not
This is
bad.
it's like a once a quarter thing
Oh, that's
that
awesome.
my boss does.
Ben is really good at Mario Party, but also really bad at Mario Party because he like strategizes to the point that he can legitimately win Mario Party, but then bonus stars always just fuck him over.
Oh yeah, that's like literally the last time I won Super Smash or Mario Party was like that exact situation where two of the guys were like head to head. They had like just been stealing stars from each other. They both ended the game with like 3 stars. But I had somehow racked up like 800 coins, and I just got like 8 stars all of a sudden, and it was like, "You're the fucking winner!"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, like everybody else just plays the game and they're just like, "Nah, I'm doing like dumb shit," and I'm like, I'm getting as many fucking stars as I can in
Yeah.
these fucking 10 turns, and everybody else is just like, "Bah!" And then I fucking lose, and it's bullshit because I fucking game the shit out of the system to like make sure that I get more stars than they do in the 10
And then
turns.
it never works out. Yeah, and they give those
It works
game
out.
rewards where they're like, "You didn't move the most, so you get a star." And you're
Exactly.
like, "What? I actually fucking
You lost the most mini games. Now you get a star.
Yeah.
like
Ben is like,
all-inclusive.
I'm
You have to turn
so
that off, like handicap mode. You're like, "I don't want hand holding mode."
so I was playing when I was in Colorado for the holidays. We're playing Mario Party with a bunch of people, and like all these people are playing Mario Party for the first time, or at least Super Mario Party for the first time, and everyone is just kind of dicking around. And Ben's like playing the fucking game, and it occurs to Ben, I don't have to chase the stars. I chase
have to
the
chase-
golden pipes. And when I chase the golden pipes, I just rack those up, and then I can get a star per turn for the last 3 or 4 turns.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And so Ben was just doing that, and he just kept doing that, and he got so many golden pipes, cashed them all in for stars. And people, when it occurred to people what he was doing, like the fact that when he started to get stars, and then people were like, "Oh my
yanked it.
god, Ben has so many golden pipes, he's going to get the star for the next 5 or like 3 rounds." Then people were like, "Oh my god, Ben!" And then like the fucking bonus stars just fucked him so hard.
You're like, "I strategized. I planned this out."
He legitimately won the game, and then the bonus stars just did the Mario Party thing where they're just like, "Yeah, fuck you. We don't care." The game doesn't care
true.
about your shit, Ben.
Yeah,
It's true.
this is Mario Party. Everyone wins, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Participation. So I this week have been playing some Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and I'm not as far along as Ben is in Omega Ruby, but I am enjoying it. It hasn't like gotten its hooks in me the way other Pokemon games have. But that's not really a surprise to me. Pokemon is kind of I gotta be in the right mindset in the right time, like frame, like in the right time and whatnot, and I gotta have the right stuff going on in my life so that I can really sink the time into it.
I haven't felt that way. I haven't felt that like vibe since I was a young boy.
Oh man, I got way into X and Y, and I adored X and Y. Those might be my favorite Pokemon games, which is really weird to say. But yeah, I got way into X and Y, and they were just great games. And I'm really enjoying Alpha Sapphire. But not as much as X and Y. But I got some lit ass Pokemon on my copy of X, so gonna put those in the bank and play them in Sword
in some time.
Yeah. So we do have some news to go over, which means it's time for the news in 5.
News in 5. News in 5.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
All right. And news in 5. The PS Vita has finally been discontinued. Sony's second generation handheld. The PlayStation Vita has been quietly discontinued. We aren't exactly sure when it happened, but the last PlayStation Vita console rolled off the line recently, and we have no news of a third-gen handheld from Sony. Do you guys think this is the end of the handheld game for Sony?
No, because I think that the DualShock 5 is going to be a handheld.
Explain yourself.
The patent, man. The patent.
All right. Not sure what you're referring to.
The patent that they released for the DS5 shows that there's going to be a screen on it.
I mean, I hope not, because...
Well, like the controller will have it built in.
When controllers have screens built in, that typically doesn't bode well for a console. Just talking about the Sega Dreamcast and the Nintendo Wii U, but, you know.
I'm just saying, they're not Sony.
It's true, Sony does know what they're doing.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah, but that's like arguably Nintendo's worst console ever.
Yeah, but...
And
like,
it's worse than any of Sony's consoles.
But what I'm saying is Nintendo knows what they're doing, and they fucked up. So Sony knows what they're doing, and it's totally possible for them to fuck up hard.
But what has Sony ever fucked up as bad as Nintendo fucked up the Wii U?
The PlayStation Vita.
I don't think they fucked that up as bad.
About.
I don't think that was fucked up as bad as the Wii U.
Oh, I definitely do.
It survived a lot longer. The Vita fucking lived a lot longer. It just died now. When did the Wii U die?
Sony,
like
Sony
2 days after it came out.
Yeah, I think it never even got off the ground. It just got given birth to, and then someone just smashed it with a hammer.
Oh God, that's so sad. Sony, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of the Vita, and I'm a big fan of the Wii U. I like them both. But the Vita, Sony hasn't mentioned the Vita in a conference or put out a first-party game in literally years. So
okay,
yeah, they've still been making them.
How many Wii U's did I buy?
And how many PS Vitas did you buy, Ben? Tell us.
2.
Yep. I was also not only we are a special level
bought
of
like
stupid.
3.
No, I bought 2.
No, because you bought the little one too.
Oh yeah. No, Mary bought that for me for Christmas. Suck it.
I only had the PSP.
PSP was fucking boss.
And technically, you had the Vita TV, so that
wait,
maybe
no. Okay, I thought that's what you were calling the little one.
Oh, no, I thought. Oh no, it was the PSP little one that you bought.
No, I never had the PSP Go. I never had that. I want one.
I thought we bought one for you at the Game Force in Boulder that one time.
No, that we looked at the PS Vita Slim. And that's when the bug bit me of like, I really like the way this holds. I'm gonna have to get one of these eventually. And then I wound up...
And that's where the addiction started.
Nah, I mean, I was addicted long before that. But, you know... but I wound up selling I wound up selling my fat PS Vita and buying a slim PS Vita. And I have the PS TV. So I've bought 2 PS Vitas, and my sister bought me a PS TV.
Okay, fair enough.
But, so do you guys think that there's going to be some sort of companion handheld device with the PlayStation 5?
Did I not already just answer this question for
I mean, you said that it's going to be the controller. Do you really think the controller is going to be a standalone gaming device?
I think that there will be a controller option that will be.
That would be pretty cool.
It'll probably be a $200 controller or more.
I'd pay.
But yes, I do think that, and I think it'll be all cloud gaming.
I'd pay for that.
Like like streaming games.
Like a little streaming handheld device. Yeah.
That can also be your primary controller for the PS5.
That would be cool.
You're describing something pretty fucking cool right now, Ben. It's basically
Like
just a screen with controls on it, and
like if the PlayStation did their own version of the Switch, kind of.
And well, I'm saying it's in your hands. It's going to feel more like a DS4, which
that would
is
be cool.
the one thing that and they make those attachments for a Switch that make it feel like more like you're holding a controller. But that's the thing that, and I think if they did that and they had full on double triggers, that would be so big for them.
Yeah, that would be a huge. If
they designed it to just snap onto a fucking smartphone like automatically.
Yeah, so that takes us to our second story, actually. PS4 Remote Play is officially on iPhone as of today. The official Sony PS4 Remote Play app has come to iOS. There have been different options from third parties for a while, and I've even considered buying one that was like all the way up to $20. But it's officially sanctioned by Sony on the iPhone, and it's free. And supposedly there's a system-wide Android rollout coming soon. It's not available on all Android devices. It's been available on Android or on Sony Xperia Android phones for a while as like a selling point for those phones. But so I guess Sony finally decided
we can't just rely on this one system.
Yeah,
this one phone.
I guess Sony finally decided we're not going to try and use it as a selling point for. We're not going to try and use the PS4 as a selling or the Remote Play app as a selling point for the Xperia. We're going to try and use iPhone and Android phones as a selling point for PS4.
Makes sense.
Which is
we just need to figure out if you can use a controller with it, because the controls are clunky as fuck on the screen.
They're really bad, and I mean, if there's a way to connect a DualShock 4, I'm sure that someone has 3D printed a little like snap-on thing that you can hold your phone in, and they're selling it on Etsy for like $7. And if there was a way,
it presses the screen for you, but the problem with that is where it would press the screen for you, it would block what you're seeing. No.
I'm saying like a snap-on thing for the DualShock 4.
So you can like have the phone like mounted
the
on your controller.
For wirelessly to the phone. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
So you could like walk around and play, one game like on your phone, essentially, like clicked right into the controller as a portable like whole device. Yeah, so clunky.
So I think that's kind of what the future of Sony handhelds could be.
Well, I think that's what the future of gaming, of mobile gaming, is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, because with as much as they're figuring out that they can do with streaming.
Yeah, streaming is
like
the future.
You're not going to be streaming from your PlayStation soon. You're going to be streaming from the PlayStation Now library or something like that.
Andrew, have you tried PlayStation Now?
Only a little bit. I tried it like way back when the PS4 sort of came out, or not when the PS4 came out, but when they first kind of released it. Yeah. And so I remember renting like Darksiders on it or something like that. I rented that. I rented like a couple of different games just to try them out. There were games that were older that I had never ever played as a kid. So they were kind of things that I had missed, which I really liked about it, because there were plenty of games growing up where I just didn't have the money to buy it or go get it even. Yeah. So it's fun to go back and like...
How was your experience with the streaming, though?
I didn't really have any problems. I know definitely I've heard from plenty of people that it can be messed up, and it can also... You have to almost like queue up to play certain things. Like you can't just sometimes get right on. You have to like wait a few minutes.
So you have some buffer.
Yeah, and so... That's kind of a weird feature, but I didn't really remember that happening too much when I played it. Maybe my internet connection was just fast enough, but I don't really know. But it didn't really interrupt me at all. There were only probably a few moments where everything would kind of stutter, but it was not often.
That's pretty cool.
Remember the days of buffering music?
I remember when I was a kid wanting to watch the trailer for the Lord of the Rings Two Towers, and like I would like
Oh my god.
I would set it, and I would wait for it to buffer so that it would start playing, and then I would hit pause, and then I would like go do a bunch of sit-ups and wait for it to like buffer the whole thing so I could watch the whole thing without it being interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Old buffering. Thank God that's not really a thing anymore, but it might be again when streaming games becomes a bigger thing.
Buffering is looking to make a comeback, baby.
It's the one thing we missed.
Speaking of comebacks and things that we don't want to come back, Microsoft Connect, Xbox Connect is making a comeback, which is really fucking weird. But it's making a comeback in a really, really cool way.
But you just said you didn't want it to come back, and it's...
I mean, I don't want it to come back as a gaming peripheral, but the way it's coming back is really fucking awesome. Microsoft has basically reintroduced a slimmed down version of the Xbox One Connect, and they've repurposed it as a modern monitoring device for businesses and like primarily medical facilities. It's also being used in retailers for like checkout free purchasing, like what the Amazon store is doing.
Ooh, is it the really racist AI that Walmart created?
No, it's not. Did
you hear about that?
I did hear about that, but it doesn't surprise me at all that Walmart made a really racist AI.
Apparently, Walmart created a facial recognition AI that immediately, or not immediately, but very quickly, it just started like registering all Asian people as the same person.
So, coming back to Connect.
Oh my god.
It's primarily being used in medical facilities, and there is a medical company called Ocuvera, which specializes in monitoring patient bed falls. So, like primarily elderly patients falling out of bed while they're in medical facilities, causing more medical problems. They've been piloting the device for like a year, or like 6 months, and it's taken annual bed falls for the elderly from about 1,000 a year across all of their facilities to literally 0.
Wow.
Because it can track the person, like the old person as they're in bed, and it can say, like, it can send a notification to the orderly or the nurse and say, hey, they're about to fall out of bed, run in, grab them.
Yeah, they're like tumbling about.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool.
That's fucking awesome.
That's really cool.
I could think of other beneficial things that this could prevent. I mean, not to be well, I don't know, but like that horrible situation in that Arizona medical facility. It could prevent things like that.
Yeah. It could totally too. Connect was literally made to track. I'm assuming you're talking about the patient abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Connect was literally made to track body movement.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I guarantee they could write an algorithm to track like, hey, this person is moving this way and identify what abuse is. And then alert.
Yeah,
people.
like this is too like aggressive of a movement.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's
like it's sent. Wow, that would be crazy.
That's a really good idea, Ben, and that's fucking awesome. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean that's kind of where the Xbox 360, Xbox Connect found its home, was in medical facilities, being used as a teaching tool for like 3D modeling and tracking for people to learn like surgeries. How to perform.
That's
surgery.
Really cool. That's fascinating.
And it sounds like the second Connect is finding its home in a similar place.
Yeah, like certain video game technologies, they get adopted by other sects of the world and turned into like a totally different use.
Oh yeah, I mean the Air Force has bought so many Vive Oculus or Vive
headsets
Rifts and PSVR units. Because they're
like, this is the best way to train. Like,
exactly. Ace Combat, it's the best way to train the military. Donald Trump's
seriously,
military.
They're all just video game nerds.
Yeah.
Eventually, the army just becomes remote controlled entirely.
But yeah, no, I think this is really cool, and it's just something I saw that's like, it's not really news, but like, it's just cool, worth discussing, worth acknowledging on a video game podcast.
Yeah.
The Xbox Maverick is in the news again. Thank you, Ben,
May.
Oh, you're reading May? As early as May?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, that's like 2 months away.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. So thank you, Ben, for bringing this one to our attention. The Xbox Maverick is the code name for the supposedly discless Xbox One S. I think this is really interesting, primarily because maybe they're testing the waters. Maybe they're saying, hey, is the market ready for something like this where maybe we're not going to sell them physical games at all, and that's not even going to be an option. And maybe we see the lower end Xbox Scarlet come with no optical drive.
I could certainly see that.
Ben, I know that see that. I know that you're still rocking a day one Xbox One, or not day one, but an original Xbox One. Would you, if the price on the Maverick were right, would you upgrade? Say it's like $150.
Probably not, just because I think honestly that the next upgrade I would make for a gaming system would be 4K, because I have a 4K TV now, and so it's like, if I'm not going to be able to game in 4K, I don't necessarily. What's the point of spending that $150 if I've already got a perfectly working version of of roughly the same hardware?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, because everything says is that it's going to basically have the Xbox One S hardware in a shell that does not have a disk drive.
Which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I say I'm not going to buy one. I might buy one if the price is right.
And it's white.
Well, yeah. But the Xbox One S has always been white. There have been like special editions, but the color for the One S has always been white. But it's no, I think that this is really cool. I think that the thing I like the best about the idea of the Maverick is the price point. That $150 price point plus $10 a month for Game Pass really could get a lot more people that aren't as well off into Xbox gaming.
Well, and what if they even just sell like a bundle where it comes with a year of Game Pass with that for $200?
250. Give them $20 discount on the, like, sell the console for $150. Give them a $20 discount if they buy it with a year of Game Pass.
Isn't a year of Game Pass 60 or is it 70?
It's 120.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's 10 a month and there's no break.
But then you have to become a knuckle dragger.
Andrew, I mean, we're playing a lot of Xbox lately, and we had some fun.
Yeah, honestly, I've been playing way more Xbox than PlayStation because we've been playing so much Apex, and my friends who don't have Xboxes don't like to play video games with us anymore. Andrew.
Oh, calling you out, Andrew.
Well, I can if you're always on Xbox.
Well, so
you have to re-evolve into a normal person.
I think that this is all right, blowing past Andrew's knuckle dragger comments. I think that this is actually a really cool thing because I'm looking forward to the future of Xbox. And I think that Microsoft is making the right plays at the right time to be the industry leader in the next generation. And they've kind of been building to that over the last couple of years. Andrew, I know that you're diehard PlayStation, and don't get me wrong, I am absolutely buying a PlayStation 5. But
Don't talk to me, you Neanderthal.
I think I might push, like, I'm going to wait to see what each has to offer, but I could see myself pushing the group towards, like, campaigning to push the group towards Xbox next gen.
Well, just abandoning your brother.
No, you can
harsh.
buy an Xbox, Andrew. Jesus.
No, I don't know if I can, Pat.
Oh, my God. All right. Also, Sonic looks dumb as fuck. The animation studio working on the upcoming live-action / CGI Sonic the Hedgehog movie leaked some art earlier this week. They immediately took it down, but the internet never forgets.
Yeah.
It doesn't miss anything. Ever since we saw the silhouette, we've been a little bit apprehensive about
what he was going to look like.
Yes, what he's going to look like.
Just how horrifying.
And man,
what does it look like again? I have to Google it again. Like he doesn't even have the one single like eye kind of thing. No. It's like the two separate eyes
with white fur in the middle. It's so much worse than we could have thought based on the silhouette. And I don't know why they did this. Ben, did you see Sonic's design? What were your thoughts on it?
Sick as fuck, dude.
Oh, you love it?
I'm way down. I am all the way in.
Well, this movie is actually a really curious thing to me because Jim Carrey is in this movie.
He is? Is he Sonic?
No. Jim Carrey
Isn't he the bad guy?
Eggman.
Oh, no, he's Mr. Eggman, yeah.
Which is just so weird.
Who's
I feel like he did
Sonic?
not make his head big enough, like, at all. Like, I don't know. His head seems, like, weirdly proportioned. He just looks so fucking weird.
It looks like a fucking weird-ass movie. I
Is
don't
Devon
know
Sawa voicing Sonic?
If only Devon Sawa was voicing Sonic. Adam Pally is in the movie, so I'm sure that he's going to be the voice of Sonic. That's just me speculating, but seems like a role he would be in.
Who's Adam Pally?
He's just some guy that plays the same rascal character in everything that he's in. He's kind of funny, I guess.
Just a rascal.
Rapscallion.
What was that, Ben?
He's a rapscallion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he raps about scallions.
Oh, nice.
Understandable.
And also, Nintendo is finally dipping into the pool that is known as VR. They announced yesterday, yesterday evening, that they'll be releasing a new Labo kit that functions as a VR headset. The kit will come with the headset and that you can make out of cardboard and then slide your Switch into. And there will be several different optional add-ons that you can buy if you're really into holding cardboard up to your face.
I don't think you're going to be holding the cardboard up to your face because it's what I was reading. Yeah, and what I was reading was saying that all of the different, like, there's going to be two different versions. One that's just the headset and like cardboard like gun looking things, and then one that's the headset, cardboard, gun looking things, and more shit.
Yeah.
So
that might
clearly
be
you're going to hold the
download.
gun looking things.
And you're going to strap the headset to your head somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw a thing earlier where it was the same thing, but it was like a Labo kit for a camera. And it was like, what if they just re-released Pokemon Snap as a game with like the camera? And I was like, now that would be one of those things I would buy.
I mean, I think that the Pokemon Snap ship has sailed. If they let the Wii U go by without a Pokemon Snap game, then the time for Pokemon Snap is over. But
ye of little faith.
But Ben, you mentioned last April when Labo came out that you were actually, of the three of us, you were the most excited about it. So, what are your thoughts on Labo VR?
It sounds cool. I quickly lost. I don't know. I quickly lost interest in it. Right, like when it. I don't know. It just didn't. When they first showed it, it made it seem like they were going to do a lot more with it than they seem to have, and it's so marketed to kids where. As I guess I kind of thought that they were going to maybe partially market it to kids and then partially make it be like, oh yeah, this could also be cool for adults too. But it really is just like purely marketed to kids. So it lost my interest kind of because of that.
Yeah, I think Labo in general. Andrew, are you at all interested in buying Labo?
Not really, but I feel like the VR thing would be really curious because I've played around with those VRs that work on your cell phone and you like slide your cell phone in. And while they're not perfect, they are fun.
So I bought I pre-ordered a PSVR for day one, and then I canceled it. And then the very first VR experience I had was one of those ones that you slide your cell phone into, and I hated it. And then I was really glad that I had canceled my PSVR. And then like a year later, my girlfriend just bought me a PSVR for my birthday, surprised me with it, and I hooked it up, and I was blown away immediately in the calibration grid. I was just shocked at how good VR is. And so in my mind, there's always been this huge distinct difference between like a cheap VR and an actual
And a
premium
real
VR experience. And so for that reason, I'm not psyched about this. I'm not psyched about VR like that you slide your phone into. But if you're impressed by that, holy fuck, you should try like a legit VR.
Well,
Oh,
you did.
I've done like Vive VRs
I
and
was there.
the PSVR. Like those are awesome, but I still found those ones where you can slide your phone in. While again, they're not like some flawless thing. They do give you like kind of a fun example of that. And I feel like with a Switch screen, the Switch screen is so much higher, like pixel like definition.
No
and
way.
like I don't know, I just find the screen picture to be like so nice and crisp, and so I think with a bigger screen too, it gives they might be able to do something pretty cool with it. I'd be curious.
I actually think the screen is where they're going to run into the most problems because the Switch is a 720p screen, and most phones even a few years ago were 1080p on a smaller screen, so they were even smaller pixels. But I don't know, we'll see how it works out. It's kind of being like Ben like you said, marketed at kids. It's sort of like baby's first VR.
Yeah.
Which,
like I would like to get a PSVR. Those games are fun. Yeah. If only No Man's Sky was VR compatible.
PSVR is amazing. So, but that takes us to the topic of the show.
The topic of
Topic.
the show.
Show.
The show.
Topic. Show.
Sometimes I feel like you guys are just interpretive dancing together with your voices.
Topic of the show.
Nice. So, topic of the show. The Switch turned 2 this week. So we're going to talk about the Switch. We're going to take a look at what the Switch has offered so far. We're going to maybe discuss a little bit about what we want from the Switch moving forward. Maybe look at year 3 a little bit. But I just wanted to start out just a real simple question, or maybe a bit more complex than I'm making it out to be. What's you guys' favorite game on the Switch so far?
Man, that's a hard question. There's a lot. I mean, actually, I'd probably say Okami.
Really?
Yeah. I found, having played Okami from the PS2 and the Wii, and then playing it on the Switch, the motion sensing controls are like so buttery smooth that like I like blows my mind. Like it's absolutely perfect. And like that game is almost like made for the Switch. Like the Switch like definitely perfects Okami, and like that's just one of my favorite games of all time. But I think the Switch like does it the best, hands down.
The best way to play it.
Yeah, and that game is still classic and awesome.
Ben, what about you? What's your favorite game on Switch?
Pixar's The Incredibles 2.
Oh, thank you. That's
what?
Are you fucking texting Jillian again? God damn it.
No. No, it's Super Mario Odyssey.
I figured. You put a lot of time into Mario Odyssey.
What about Super Smash?
But
the game that never stops gaming.
I mean, Super Smash I like a lot, but it's something that I've felt like before, whereas like Odyssey was like felt like a completely new experience because of the fact that you could just go. It was like being thrown into a Mario world that was just like a sandbox. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mario Odyssey was really good. I don't know what it was that I didn't love about it.
I didn't love that it wasn't Super Mario 64 style. I liked the idea of going into worlds and having to like complete things per world.
Yeah, I
There
kind
was
of feel
something
like
bite-sized about it, which I liked.
yeah, I'm with you, Andrew. I kind of feel like Mario Odyssey going into a world and just picking up moons, picking up moons, picking up moons, versus like going into Mario,
Yeah.
like jumping into a painting in Mario 64 and having a very distinct objective, and
And getting
the
it
level
finally,
is
like-
set. Like there are things in that level that are there because that's the objective, and like there are
Yeah.
different setups and layouts to that level based on the objective you select. I like that better.
hmm Yeah, there was something about Odyssey saying off the same exact note. Like in those older games, you get the star and it's like a specific objective where you'd go into the levels in Odyssey, and after a while, you just pick up the moons everywhere. And they kind of lost their luster. It was like, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. And it was just like they kind of almost just started to feel like collectibles as opposed to like goals. But then as you kind of beat all the easy ones, then the more difficult ones are hiding. So like then it started to feel a little bit more classic. But yeah, towards the beginning you were like, oh good, I just got like 30 of
12
them.
moons immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ben, I think that your choice is legitimate because it is like Andrew and I are kind of shitting on it right now, but it is a fantastic game.
Yeah, it is so crispy smooth.
It's the best Mario has ever moved in a 3D space, and that is speaking in a world in which Super Mario 64 exists, which is insane.
Yeah, straight up. But I don't know. There's a lot of really good ones. I would honestly even say Hollow Knight is really amazing. I think the Switch really does platforming and like side-scrolling games super nicely.
Well, I thank you for teeing me up there. It's kind of a dark horse, but as far as like my favorite game on Switch, it's been Owlboy. I was just so enamored and in love with Owlboy.
With like how crisp, how like beautiful that artwork is.
Beautiful, how beautiful the art is, how beautiful the music is, how beautiful the story and the relationships and the characters.
I just wish the game
being
was
the
longer.
sequel to Flappy Bird.
Yeah, that's actually a little known fact about it, Ben. Thank you. Ben, stop fucking texting Jillian. Jesus.
I'm not texting Jillian.
I don't trust either of you anymore. Andrew, because you weren't there, and for all the listeners that were very confused about the answers the other night, was it last week or was it the week before on the podcast? Jillian was texting Ben and Tim as they were on the podcast, saying
The answers.
no. She was saying, "I want one of you to mention That's So Raven on the Nintendo DS." And I said, "What are you guys gonna be playing this week?" And Ben said, "That's So Raven on the Nintendo DS." And so now I see Ben look at his
classic
phone,
choice.
and I hear him mention Flappy Bird, and I think that bitch is fucking texting him again. God damn it!
No, I just literally thought that that Owlboy was the sequel to Flappy Bird.
It's not the sequel to Flappy Bird, and it is a game definitely worth picking up.
But is it as good as Flappy Bird?
It's better.
It
than
is
Flappy
worlds
Bird.
better.
It is better than Flappy Bird, believe it or not. I do think Owlboy is my favorite game on the Switch. It just blew me away. I'm
It
so
blew
in love
you?
with-
No way.
I wish.
But if Flappy Bird was on the Switch, would that be your favorite?
No, didn't you have Flappy Bird on your iPhone at one point?
Oh, I
Everyone had Flappy Bird on their iPhone at one point. Come on. This is
No,
America.
that's actually not true because Flappy Bird got taken down, and then everyone was like, "I need an iPhone with Flappy Bird on it."
Yeah, I had
Fake
an
news.
iPhone with Flappy Bird on it.
Yeah, pretty.
It's a
stupid.
legendary game.
It's a lot like
It will
pizza.
forever live on in the archives, in the texts.
They also made an arcade version
Of course they
with
did.
a single button.
Of course.
You know what other game is also that? The helicopter game. It's
Yep.
the exact same thing.
And that game was lit.
Yeah, I used to
On
play
Mac?
that at computer lab all the time as a kid.
I
On,
did.
Like a
That
Mac
was like
2.
a source of bragging.
No, it was a
rights.
Flash game.
Oh, we had a helicopter game that was like that on my mom's like Apple II.
Oh, nice. So, what was you guys' biggest surprise on the Switch so far?
How many not Nintendo games are on it?
How expensive the Joy-Cons are.
That's a good point, Ben. That's something that like people don't really talk about is that oh my god, the Joy-Cons are prohibitively expensive.
Yeah. And it sucks that you can't buy like two of the same color. You have to get the whole thing like through
No,
the
you can buy two of the same color
For some
on
colors, you can buy double
Yeah.
blue, you can buy double red.
well, and you can buy individual Joy-Cons also. So you could buy like
Can you
a
buy those
red.
straight from Nintendo?
Yeah, I've started to look into it because I want more Joy-Cons in a copy of
Yeah.
that, and they should have made more fucking of the pack with that includes Joy-Cons and fucking
I
Mario
just
Party
want I
because
just want
that's
atomic
just
red and atomic blue Joy-Cons.
I just want Mario Party and four Joy-Cons so that I can fucking play Mario Party with four people, but
Well, I
they
have a Mario Party game. We can play online, Ben. Play with
but,
me.
but I
Play
don't
with
have
me.
Mario Party and I don't have four Joy-Cons, so
Oh,
I'm
well,
I'm
you
100
can buy me
and
two Joy-Cons.
$140 away
Then
from
you can
being
live
able to do what I
vicariously
want.
through me. Well, you're
Or
almost there.
now I can buy the package deal for $150, which doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's better to buy them separate.
Which,
Yeah.
but when they first released the package deal, it did make sense. They just
How much
didn't
was it?
make enough of them. I think when they first released it, it was like 120, 130 or something like that.
Oh, so you saved 10 or 20 bucks.
Yeah.
That's not bad. And
No.
you said they were special Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah, I think it was like a Wario colored one and a Waluigi colored one.
Are you
Like yellow and
serious?
purple? That's
Yeah.
super cool.
Oh my god. I would have been all
Mhm.
over that.
Yeah, they fucked us. You can buy it on
You
fucking.
missed your opportunity,
Get it
Pat.
on.
This is a
Man,
tragic day.
I'm looking those up right now. Super Mario Party Joy-Con. Oh, Ben's gotta go pee. He drank. He went to the rec center and he sat in the hot tub and then he sat in the sauna and then he sat in the steam room and he drank like 6 bottles of water while he was there. So now he's
Good.
just
That's
peeing
good
a
for
lot.
you.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
that's too
Oh, well, I
funny.
see one that's like yellow. Oh, well, there's the Splatoon colors, and
Yeah, those look more
then
like
there's the
the
yellow
Splatoon.
and green.
Yeah, that yellow and green is pretty sweet. I don't
I
know.
just need to
I'm
go on like Etsy or one of those websites where you can just buy like the skins that people make, and you just unscrew it and screw it back on.
Oh yeah, it's more than just unscrewing it and screwing it back on.
Well, I'll figure it out.
It's basically, from what I've heard about like Joy-Con shell replacements, is be prepared to buy another set of Joy-Con because you're gonna break them.
You're maybe gonna break them. Oh God.
Yeah,
You can buy custom ones
on
online
Etsy.
though.
I
Yeah.
There's actually a pair on Etsy that I have bookmarked that I'm gonna buy eventually, but they're the atomic purple, same as the Game Boy Color, and they have a D-pad instead of the buttons.
You
What?
can just buy you can buy a D-pad one.
You can't buy an official Nintendo D-pad one.
Yes, you can.
Ori. Where?
No, I'm almost positive
Oh,
that
look
I've
at
seen
that.
Nintendo D-pad ones.
Oh man, I like these silver. There's like there's like silver GameCube controller ones. $180. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you
So-
can buy a massive collection of them. That's cool.
So, I've been really disappointed / surprised with the Nintendo Online service. I kind of think Nintendo Switch Online kind of sucks, to be perfectly frank.
Oh, it's
They
terrible.
keep adding more games.
Yeah, but honestly, and this may sound blasphemous, I don't love the NES. I think the NES is overrated.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think NES games aren't great, and even the best one, which was Super Mario 3, is good, but there's like, why would I play that when I can play Super Mario World on Super Nintendo? Like, I would every single day of the week, I would choose a Super Nintendo game over an NES game.
Yeah, very true.
And I don't think that the offering of NES
They should have
games,
just offered N64 games.
yeah, and like supposedly there's rumor that SNES games are coming to the service, but I don't think that the offering that they have for NES games is nearly worth the price, and they're essentially just charging us for something that was free before, and it's fucking broke ass doesn't work on Smash. Which pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, it's pretty shoddy. But playing with like friends in a group works pretty well.
Not really.
I've had it work pretty okay
Oh, like on
on a private
local,
room.
yeah, local.
Well,
Oh,
local
yeah.
works well, but like an online private room, those have worked okay for me.
We've done that and it does not work.
It's
for
pretty
us.
laggy. It's been pretty laggy every time I've tried.
But it's pretty disappointing. So, yeah, I mean, so we're headed into year 3 for the Switch. We're at the very beginning. We already know of some games that are coming out this year. What games are you guys most excited for year 3 that have already been announced?
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield is just such a like, absolutely. I'm totally with you. I'm super psyched about Pokemon.
The remake of Link's Awakening looks pretty cool too.
I'm way pumped for that. I would say.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm really psyched for Pokemon, but before the announcement of Link's Awakening, I would have said that Luigi's Mansion 3 was probably my most anticipated game for Switch Year 3. But now that they announced Link's Awakening, that's it. I'm all about that game. That game looks awesome. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, that'll be a real hit of nostalgia.
Well,
now I can finally steal from the little shop again and have the guy like blow you up with demon magic.
I never played that one, so I'm really psyched to be able to get into it.
I hope it's laid out the same way. That'd be so.
It looks like it is based on screenshots I've seen.
Yeah, that's definitely my most anticipated. Andrew, what's your most anticipated game for Switch Year 3?
Honestly, I'm not even sure what games are like coming out.
Well, supposedly Animal Crossing is coming sometime this year. Pokemon is coming this year.
Yeah,
Luigi's
Pokemon
Mansion.
I might get, but I don't know. Again, I haven't played a Pokemon game since I was a little kid, so there's like, I don't quite have the desire that like a lot of people seem to have for Pokemon.
It's when it sinks its hooks into you, when it sinks its teeth into you, you're fucked because goddamn. I think I put like 40 hours into X in its first week. I played that game like it was a full-time job for a week, maybe 2. But yeah, I'm psyched for Pokemon for sure.
I mean, I really would love it if Metroid came out. That'd be cool.
Well, that leads us into our next question, which is how long do you think the Switch is going to last? And do you think Metroid Prime 4 will come out on Switch eventually?
Oh, I definitely think so. Absolutely.
How long do you think Switch is going to last?
I'd give it a couple more years.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Ben, you joke.
4 more years.
But I think that 4 more years is a reasonable expectation.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
And I think that... Duh. That's why I said it. No, I think that I think Metroid Prime 4 will end up... It's funny because it was announced like right after the Switch came out. And then I think it's probably going to end up being the swan song for the console as the Switch kind of twilights and we get a new console.
And it gets the Switch 2. They just call it the Switcheroo.
Oh,
that'd be a great name for it.
I think actually that Nintendo has leaked that it's going to be called the Nintendo Dildo.
Oh, wow. When did that leak happen? Was that Reggie because he's retiring?
Probably.
All right. And I guess to wrap up the Switch 2-year anniversary conversation, what do you think, or are there any more Wii U ports you guys want to see come to the Switch? because you guys didn't get a Wii U. I did, but
Yeah.
what do you guys want to play that was on the Wii U? What do you want to play on your Switches?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword was on Wii.
Well, that would still be nice because I never got to play it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't really know that many games. I think all the games that I ever knew about on Wii U basically are already on there. So I don't know.
I really would love them to port Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD in that order. I know that's not popular. To the Wii U versions to the Switch, because I fucking love both of those games. And I would really love Super Mario 3D World. That game was amazing. Honestly, again, unpopular opinion, I think it was better than Mario Odyssey.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
And if it does come to Switch, you guys better play it because you'll fucking dig it. It's a really good game.
We'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
All right. Well,
It's a me.
Mario.
Mr. We shall see.
So I want to know what you guys are going to be playing this week. Ben, tell me what you're going to be playing.
It started Titanfall this week, and I'll probably keep playing through the campaign on that. Titanfall 2, that is. Excuse me.
Yeah, you texted me
fun
something
one.
pretty funny about Titanfall 2.
Yeah, I was this morning. It's today. I'm off on Thursdays and Fridays, and so this morning I kind of woke up and found myself wanting to play some video games, and I was like, oh man, I kind of wish Apex was more fun to play by myself. And,
Yeah, Titanfall 2 I think is really good.
yeah. Well, it was funny because I was like, man, like it's a bummer that there's not like a campaign, or that it's not just more fun to play by myself. And then I was like, oh yeah, I bought Titanfall 2. I could play that. That's probably going to feel a lot like Apex.
Oh, I wish
it
Apex
does.
had a campaign. Oh, fuck. It does have an award-winning campaign that I bought for $5 the other day.
Even the
Yeah.
multiplayer on Titanfall 2 I think is super fun.
Titanfall 2 is a fantastic game.
The wall running seems a little absurd, and I'm really glad they didn't include that in Apex, but it's pretty cool so far.
They tried to include the wall running, and they said that no matter how they cut it, they just couldn't make it work.
But yeah, that would have made it stupid.
Well, the wall running in the multiplayer can tend to be pretty funny. If you're really good, I've seen people like sliding and wall running and flying and jumping, and like they'll just like fly through a room and be like pow 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 pow, 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 and like kill everybody. But then I can't do that.
Well, there's that GIF on Reddit that I'm sure a ton of people have seen. If you're listening to this show, I'm sure you've seen it. But the guy like is on the top of this like really tall building, and he jumps off, and as he does, he grapples a flagpole on his way down, and he like uses it to swing around and catapult himself, and he's like flying
and then
across
shoot
the
a
map,
guy.
and then he just scopes in, shoots a guy, and scopes out, lands and slides. And the guy immediately
Oh yeah, people would do that shit all the time.
The guy just immediately messages him, and he's like, I better see that shit on Reddit.
Yeah, yeah. But that kind of thing happens all the time. Like people who are really good at quick scoping.
Well, and that's why the Titanfall 2 players are mostly playing Pathfinder, because they can do that grapple shit. And I'm not good with the grapple as Pathfinder.
Yeah,
play
I was
Pathfinder.
never good at it. I was always the invisibility guy.
I play Pathfinder because I'm charmed by a charming robot, and I like a grapple, and setting up those zip lines has helped us in a time or two. But to see the people play Pathfinder and pull off that same like grapple bullshit that people did in Titanfall 2 is really impressive.
Yeah, because you can use the grapple to basically speed yourself up, and then by just like hopping and sliding, you can just like in Titanfall 2, I remember you could like get up to crazy speed, and you would just like kind of like skip across the ground. So you could just fling yourself at a group of people and just be like bang 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 with like with a magnum, and like you definitely take out like at least a few people.
Yeah, Ben, I'm excited for you to play Titanfall 2. It's a fucking awesome campaign.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It was
so
one
far.
of my favorite like first person shooter campaigns I think I'd played in a really long time.
I will say that I'm not. I think I like the being out of the Titan more than I like being in the Titan.
I felt the same way throughout the entire game.
Yeah. That's like same thing in the multiplayer. The Titans you can really do some damage when you get used to your Titan, but like its Titan fighting can be kind of hard.
Yeah.
And like really frustratingly clunky.
Yeah. So, Andrew, tell me what you're going to be playing this week.
I definitely have to finish Metro. I'm almost there, but I don't know. I'll probably play some more Smash. After tomorrow, I feel like I'm going to suddenly just be addicted to it.
Get back into it. Nice. And I am going to be playing quite a bit more Pokemon, try and catch up to Ben, and I'm definitely going to be playing some Apex. I really like Apex. It's an awesome game. So, but that takes us to our final bit before we go, which is trivia. So, yes, Ben, do you have a question?
No, I'm the champion. I was raising my hand.
Oh, Ben is the champion of trivia so far. So today's trivia question: what was the first Xbox game to ever pass certification? Was it A, Halo, B, Fusion Frenzy, C, Azuric, or D, Perfect Dark Zero?
I want to say Perfect Dark Zero.
Andrew, is that your final answer?
Or Fusion Frenzy. No, Perfect Dark Zero.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Ben?
I'm going to go Halo.
All right. Well, neither of you are moving the needle at all this week because it wasn't Halo. And Andrew, Perfect Dark Zero was a launch title for the Xbox 360.
Oh, I misunderstood then.
The first Xbox game to ever pass certification was Fusion Frenzy.
That wasn't a very fun game.
Yeah, that's that motorbike game, isn't it?
Fusion Frenzy was the party game. It was like a wannabe Mario Party.
Oh.
And it was actually really good.
Oh, I was thinking of the one where you Jet Set Radio Future. That's what I was thinking of.
Jet Set Radio Future. That's a Sega game.
But it was on Xbox.
Future was on Xbox. So Future was the second one. Jet Set Radio was the first, and it was a Dreamcast exclusive. Then when the Dreamcast died and they wanted to make Future, they made it on Xbox.
Okay.
Xbox was kind of like where all the Dreamcast fanboys migrated to when they realized the console was dead. Well, that's all we've got for you guys tonight. If you loved what you heard, make sure to subscribe on whatever podcast service you found us on and listen to our movies podcast, No Refunds, the podcast that watches bad movies so you don't have to. Don't forget to check out our website, coldnorthpro.com, for everything we do.
What a great website.
All in one spot. We'll return next week talking about more video game related stuff. I don't really remember what we're talking about next week. So it's going to be a surprise for everyone. I'm the Law Morris. Reset.
Meow.
Meow. That's cat for reset. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. There it is, fellas. You got that good stuff. Now what? Now what do we do with our lives?
Apex. Apex is what we do with our lives.
Alright, mans. Well, I'm gonna dip out. Good job.
Indeed.